Now we'll go over two very basic data types in the C programming language. Variables are what we're going to use as an identifier to hold values in our program. And the two types that we're going to cover now are number and character. And in C, there's many different number types that we can use that allow for different sizes of numbers and allow us to use negative or decimal numbers. But the first one we'll cover is going to be the integer data type, which is a 32-bit data type, and it's whole numbers only, so there will be no decimal points. And in C, whenever you want to use a variable, the first thing you have to do is declare the variable. And we're going to start with a number, an integer. So what we're going to do is declare our variable int, and I'm just going to name it A for our first variable name. And then we can use the equal sign and then a number. We'll just arbitrarily choose the number 1 to assign it to our variable A. And we have our program set up and we're ready to save it. So we can save the program and compile it. And I chose to name my program file variables01.c that you can see here. So once your file is saved, go ahead and navigate to the directory with your file and we'll go ahead and compile it. And you can see that since we didn't use any flags, our program name is a.out. And if we choose to run it, nothing will happen because we aren't really doing anything. Quickly, I'll show you. You can also declare a variable without assigning a value to it. So we could name it B, and if we wanted to, we could also we could create multiple variables on the same line, like this, and save, and this would compile as well. In addition to simply assigning values to our variables, we can also print the values out to the screen if we choose to do so. We can use the printf command and function that we used previously in other segments that you should be used to. What you can do if you want to print the value, you can print some normal text that you'd like, and you can use the % with the format specifier, and in this instance we'll use the format specifier of D to tell the C program that we're going to be substituting a number value. So we'll put the value of A. So what this is doing is telling the printf that we're going to be substituting a number value, and what we want to substitute in there is the number in variable A. So we can go ahead and save that, return to our terminal screen, and compile that as well. And when we run it, we now print our variable name. And in addition to printing just a single value and doing a single substitution, we can do multiple on the same line. So if we wanted to substitute 3 variables in here for 3 integer values, we could specify that at the end of the printf statement. And here we'll substitute the value of A, B, and C. And since B and C don't have values, we'll want to assign values to those. And we can save our file and compile it again and run it. And you'll see that we printed the 3 values. And as a final example, I will show you that you could also do your assignment at the top when you do your declaration. And we'll add another substitution in here just for example. Compile it and run it. And now we printed our 4 values out. And that is an example of basic variable assignment and creation and printing with substitution for integer values. Now to just add on to this, we'll briefly show you how to create a character variable. A character is 8 bits and it's used to hold one character value, 0 through 255. it can hold those values with the 8 bits, and whenever it's printed to the screen, it's just converted into the character value. So to create a character variable, you use the keyword char, and we can create a character. You can name the variable whatever you want. I'll just name it charvar, and when you can assign it any value you want, but you can only assign it one letter. And whenever you assign it a value, you want to use a single quote, not the double, or you'll get an error. And similar to what we did earlier to print decimal or integer values, you can do the same thing or similar with characters, where you can use the C instead of D. And here we'll assign a character value to our character variable, and we will print that value down below. So save your file, navigate over to your terminal window, and compile the program with the character now. And you can run it. And you've now assigned variable values for integers and characters and printed those values out to the screen.